The farms Dorothy saw now were not nearly so well cared for here as the farms she had seen at the start of her journey. There were fewer houses and fewer fruit trees, and the farther Dorothy, Toto, and the Scarecrow went, the more run down the countryside became. At noon, they sat down by the roadside, close to a little brook. Dorothy opened her basket and got out some of the bread she had packed. She offered a piece to the Scarecrow, but he refused. "I am never hungry," he said, "and it is a lucky thing I am not, for my mouth is only painted, and if I cut a hole in it so I could eat, the straw I am stuffed with would come out, and that would ruin the shape of my head." Dorothy saw at once that this was true, so she only nodded and ate her bread by herself. "Tell me something about yourself and the country you came from," said the Scarecrow when she had finished her dinner. So she told him all about Kansas and how gray everything was there. She told him about how the cyclone had carried her to this wonderful land of Oz. The Scarecrow listened carefully. Then, when she was done, he spoke. "I cannot understand why you would want to leave this beautiful country and go back to the dry, gray place you call Kansas." "That is because you have no brains," answered Dorothy. "No matter how dreary and gray our homes are, us people of flesh and blood would rather live there than in any other country, no matter how beautiful. After all, you know what they say." The Scarecrow raised an eyebrow. "No, I don't know. What do they say?" Dorothy smiled. "There is no place like home, Scarecrow. There's no place like home." The Scarecrow sighed. "If your heads were stuffed with straw like mine, you would probably all live in beautiful places then, and then Kansas would have no people at all. I suppose it is fortunate for Kansas that you do have brains." "Won't you tell me a story while we are resting?" asked the child. The Scarecrow looked at her reproachfully and answered, "My life has been so short that I have no stories to tell. I was only made the day before yesterday. What happened in the world before that time is unknown to me. Luckily, when the farmer made my head, he gave me ears first. That is how I heard what was going on at the moment of my creation. There was another munchkin with the farmer that made me, and the first thing I heard was the farmer saying, 'How do you like those ears?' 'They aren't straight,' answered the other. 'Never mind,' said the farmer. 'As long as the ears work, that is all that matters,' which was true enough. 'Now I'll make the eyes,' said the farmer. So he painted my right eye, and as soon as it was finished, I found myself looking at him and at everything around me for the first time in my life.' 'That's a pretty eye,' said the munchkin who was watching the farmer. 'Blue paint is the right color for eyes.' 'I think I'll make the other a little bigger,' said the farmer, and when the second eye was done, I could see much better than before. Then he made my nose and my mouth, but I did not speak, because at that time I didn't know what a mouth was for. It was really interesting to see them making my body and my arms and legs, and when they put my head on my body at last, I felt very proud, for I thought I had the body of a man. I thought I was a man."